During the thread of this project, we created printmaking based on our underreported stories. You might be wondering, what is an underreported story? Well, according to the Pulitzer Center, an underreported story covers an issue that is important but isn't getting the attention it deserves. These can be stories that are not necessarily in the breaking news headlines, or they're covered but missing critical perspective and nuance. It is important to acknowledge how powerful art can be. It can be used to confront issues and create a social change because art is a type of language. When used in the correct way, it is possible to express a message that everyone can understand and so on contribute to the main purpose the artist had, express their thoughts and feelings about a subject or simply raise awareness.
I really think that art is a motor for social change. It has always been. The image has something that the written word cannot achieve. There is something around not just visual art, but can be music, can be cinema, other forms of expression that goes beyond only the intellectual, that is received by the viewer in a certain way that would make you understand or would make you feel empathy through certain issues that only talking about them or just presenting the problem will not get to that sensitive, emotional point that you need to get to provoke change.
One day I was watching Chilean news and I found one that caught my attention. It was about Byron Castillo, a 25-year-old truck driver who was unfortunately killed by immigrants in the north of Chile. It started with a confrontation between them and this man, which, as you can see, ended very badly. This conflict fastly escalated to a major issue. Anti-immigrant Chileans demanded the expulsion of different minorities, while these minorities were constantly proving themselves as non-problematic people, thus fighting for the rights to have a better life. How can two different groups appeal to violence so easily because of a different opinion? Why is it so hard for people to tolerate one another, especially when someone comes from a different environment? For my printmaking, I decided to create a simple design of a girl looking up to a word that defines my whole theme, tolerance. It is important to make a sketch before carving in the wood, just in order to prevent any mistakes during the process. What I did in order to print my drawing after the carving part was very simple. With the help of a hard paint ruler, I covered the entire surface of my wood plate with black ink provided by our teacher. Then I placed a clean printing paper in my drawing and applied pressure for at least 3 minutes. Finally, I removed the paper and the printing was done.
I think printmaking has been crucial, especially I think it was in the 70s, in the 80s, the whole production of fanzines and printmaking, and it was very important to spread the word and really important to social movements. And I think the aesthetics of printmaking are also very political because we have that information from the 70s and the 80s. So.
My personal printing was, as mentioned before, about tolerance. However, my classmates shared many different stories about so many different topics. The most impressive thing to recall is that all of this was shared through art. Each of them created amazing projects. The printmaking steps can sometimes be very challenging. You have to start by sketching your ideas, drawing them in the wood, carving them as best as you can. You also need to be very careful and delicate. You don't want to break it. even though, well, it doesn't really matter. It's part of the overall process. Something I learned is that there is always room for improvement. By the end of the day, one of the accomplishments is getting comfortable with the technique.
When I think about tolerance, it's something that you're resisting. It's something it's like a weight you have in you. And maybe when you think about empathy, to understand another, you don't have to tolerate something that you don't like. So you can understand someone else.
Something kind of sad about society nowadays is that people are becoming less tolerant with each other, less respectful. As a matter of fact, great philosophers during the past of time have written about the importance of tolerance, and the amount of art pieces created based on that are extremely numerous. Here you have an example. Eduardo Gobra painted the entire wall of one side in a property in Chelsea, New York City. He portrayed Mother Teresa and Gandhi, two very important figures of tolerance.
Go and look art. Go not just internet, not just computers. Go to the museums, see the pieces, stay there, look again, come back, go and see the same pieces and talk to artists, investigate. That's crucial, especially in this city. If you're living in New York, I think it's such an amazing city to see art. Not just only the Guggenheim, not only the MoMA. There's so many small galleries in Chinatown, hidden in apartments, and go and see art.